Okay, so hi out there in the YouTube world. It is me, the Puzzle Master, and this is gonna be your video on how to deal with Capricorn people. Sorry, I actually did this video a while ago, and then I lost it, and I'm not really sure where it is, but I don't know. Hopefully on the second time it should be even better, right? So we really want to break down what Capricorn is, right? Okay, so first of all, it's Earth element, which means it's going to be strong, it's going to be sturdy, it's going to be based kind of in the material realm of the Earth. This could give them some attachment to nature and appreciation of the physical world with rocks and gems or some of the more material aspects of nature. Not that they're materialists, compared to Taurus, they're really not, but they're Taurus and Capricorn both earth elements, so they share a bit of that physicality, except Taurus is ruled by Venus. Sorry to bring up other signs, but to really understand a specific sign, you have to contrast and compare it to what makes it different than other signs. And Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. What does that mean? Well, Saturn is the god of time, of trials and tribulations, of restrictions. But it's also time, meaning all things happen in time. And Capricorn, often depicted as the goat, but oftentimes you'll also see it with a mermaid tail or a fish tail. And this is to signify goats can climb mountains. So they go from the lowest points to the highest points. But because they're ruled by Saturn, and we throw the fishtail in there, they can come from really, really dark places or really, really low places. And they have to, it's all about the little steps that they're very aware of in this life that add up to the totality of whatever they're trying to manifest. Now, being ruled by Saturn, or if you have, strong Saturn elements in your chart, like squaring Venus or squaring your moon, what that's going to do, because Saturn isn't helping you. If you have a square, it's bad. So you could still have some of these Saturn traits, even if your sign is completely different, depending on your actual chart's specific design. Now, like I said, Capricorn people being ruled by Saturn, they will feel like in life things don't really necessarily come easy. They have to work hard, and in order to really see any gain in the long term, they really have to try and focus and set goals. They're very work oriented, and they're very serious type. This isn't always the case. There's always exceptions to the rule, but very, very generally, Capricorn people, especially if it's their sun sign, come off very, very serious. Not in a boring or dry way. I just mean especially in the workplace, they're very, very straight edge. They like to get things done, and they don't really like small talk or it's not that they don't like it, it's just that especially at work or something, that is not the appropriate place. Now, this sign, okay, they work hard, well, they play hard, but in the sense of they still have that kind of work-oriented, they can't really just leave work at work or leave school at school. It's kind of just a part of them. And that's because, like I mentioned earlier, they have to take those little steps. So they're always focused on the next step. Even when they're partying, it doesn't change their goals. It doesn't mean that they're throwing all their life ambitions out the window just to have some fun. They still keep that burn in the back of their mind as their goal. That's going to, bring them a better life. And yes, they can be very, very serious. Mention that. They're a cardinal sign, which means they're not going to be quite as stubborn as a Taurus, which is fixed, or a Leo, which is fixed sign. Cardinal has more of that. Well, there's cardinal, fixed, and mutable. And cardinal has that kind of initiatory energy, where they're able to just, pick a route, make a decision, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they know exactly where they're going, but they set on the journey. They take the first step. That's what cardinal is all about. And yeah, being ruled by Saturn, like I said, is going to give them some some trials, tribulations. It means that things might not seem so easy from their perspective. But if you're Capricorn watching this, know that other people, from their perspectives, you are such a good worker, and you're reliable, and, you know, like if they need someone for something of a serious issue, you will be the first person that they call, because they know that, like, you got your stuff together. When it comes to the body and their rulerships, we all know that Aries starts at the head, and Pisces ends at the feet, while Capricorn rules the knees. And the symbology behind this is that they rule the bones, truly. Like, they are that foundation. They're very, like, Taurus is earth, Virgo is earth, but Capricorn rules the bones. So they're a really strong, sturdy, serious type. And they don't like ideas that are, like, half-baked ideas. Like, they want something that is well thought out. If you're, like, to discuss with them something, like, you gotta lay your facts out in a clear and concise order that will prove to them in a logical way that what you're saying is true. Otherwise, if you're just speaking like from emotional context, and I feel this and I intuit that, that might not blow over so well with a Capricorn individual, and they might find that too frivolous or too, you know, all over the place. Because my moon is Gemini, so Capricorn people can be a little bit thrown off by that, because they're like, you know, they just don't quite understand, because on a day-to-day basis, they, you know, like, what do they say it? Like, you know, get back to work, get her done. You know what I mean? Like, that's very Capricorn. Get her done. Like, that whole serious work ethic, and struggles, like, because of the whole aspect with Saturn. Yeah, they have they really, really dislike people who are impolite. So, like, if you do not have a good etiquette and you don't respect other people, then they aren't going to really have that respect for you, because they're just like, well, look how you treat people. Like, you know, they don't like that. It's very serious, cut and dry etiquette. It doesn't mean that they have, like, they're not boring people, because I've known a bunch of them, and they're very exciting people, and they still have that inner charisma that, like, everyone has inside. It just means that, like, when it comes to their outward persona, they like to come off very serious and professional, because, you know, like, in a world like that's filled with so much judgments, if you're going to judge them, they want you to judge them well. So they're going to put their best effort out there for you to judge them how they want to be perceived. And they want to be perceived as, like, you know, a 10 hut. I'm here, get it done properly, get it done fast. Like, those are all, you know, elements about a Capricorn. And yeah, oh, and they very, very, very much, as I said about etiquette and being serious, they also really, really respect privacy and would expect and appreciate that other people respect theirs. Because, as I mentioned, like, wanting the world to view them in a good manner, they want to put the best out that they can offer. And if you, like, go snooping around their back kind of thing, that will really rub a Capricorn person the wrong way, and they could just be like, because they will not trust you. Like, if you step over things like that, or like snoopy, or asking them too much personal questions, they really aren't gonna like that, like, at all. Like, and they might be wondering, like, well, you know, I don't ask you these kind of invasive personal questions because I don't care. So why do you care? Like, trying to blackmail me, or like you want to, like, build some dirt? Like, their brain isn't gonna go to the, oh, we're just sharing, like, little secrets. Like, they're not gonna, like, think of it in that emotional sharing, compassion way, because they're ruled by Saturn. So, like I said, trials, tribulations, restrictions. And with that, like, they might have already had someone freaking backstab them before, and they don't want that to happen again. So, a little bit guarding their heart when it comes to, like, privacy and secrecy. But for good reason, because elegance, and, like, you know, in order to be elegant, you have to be well, you know, you have to be well mannered, and you have to project yourself in a positive light that is also serious, without being juvenile and, like, like a little child. You want to have that charisma mixed with serious. And then they climb these mountains of life. And like, if it wasn't for like the Capricorn element, nothing in the world would truly get done. Because Capricorns are the people who just put on the gloves, or they don't even put on the gloves, and they just like dive in to the stuff. Like, they get it done. And they're not about waiting and like procrastinating. Like, they just get her done. Like, now, even though I see the whole, like, they're not about waiting and procrastinating, like I said, because they're ruled by trials and tribulations, it might feel like, from their perspective, you know, like with school or something, they get an assignment, they do it right away, but it's not due for a week, and then they're just, like, waiting. It's not waiting on their behalf, they're just, like, waiting for reality to catch up to them, because they're like, come on, because they, from their perspective, they just want to, like, speed up time. So, like, all those things and goals that they want to achieve have just happened already, because it feels like such a long struggle in order to get from point A to point B to point C to all the way to the end of the alphabet. That's not, like... So, if you are a Capricorn, keep your end goal in mind as, like, this bright horizon, as a potential that you are going to achieve. Not that you might, you are going to get there. When? We don't know that. But we do know that you're going to get there. That is unquestionable. As long as your effort and your energy and your passion, your work, are all focused on those ends, then those means will be accomplished. Yes. And so if you're watching this to how to deal with a Capricorn person, as I've stated, respect their privacy, have a serious manner about them, like, or about yourself, and know that about them. And so, like, if you're wanting to hang out with one of them and you're just, like, wanting, like, hey, let's go party, or, like, let's go do this. If they don't want to, maybe it's because the things you're suggesting just seem too juvenile or trivial or, like, I don't know, boring to them. Like, because if it's juvenile and just, like, I don't know, like, look at little toys or whatever, like, that's not really gonna... They like mental concepts. Especially if it's serious and they are learning. Like, they want to feel like they are moving on to the next level. They don't want to feel that hanging out with you and partying and getting hammered or whatever is going to, like, crash their life. Because it could. Because they're ruled by Saturn. Just trials and tribulations. So they don't like to take those kind of risks. They want to stick to the path. Usually. And yeah, so if you respect their privacy and you treat them with good etiquette and respect, and due diligence, like, very strong on the serious emphasis here, like, then they will respect you, because that is how they would want to be viewed. So, don't be being all too buddy-buddy with them, like, no high fives, like, that's gonna, especially if you're, like, at work or something, they're gonna, like, be embarrassed by you, so don't be like that. But you could still speak with them as long as it's, you know, as long as you have good intent, that will shine through. And yeah, so, like, basically, that's Capricorn in a nutshell. And like this, and subscribe if this is your first video watching. I know Capricorns are really serious, so please don't be too, I hope I did an okay job summing you up. Tried not to really go by any notes or anything, so used a little teeny bit, but not very much. Most of that's from just my own memory and knowledge and life experiences that I've had. So, yeah. Mwah. And I'll see you, what's the next one? Aquarius, I think. Yeah, Capricorn, Aquarius. Yeah, so, you can look forward to Aquarius, because Aquarius is the cuckoo banana sign. So, it comes off serious too, but compared to Capricorn, it's a whole other kit and caboodle. So, I'll see you in that one. Later.